Yo, what's up, big dogs? Today, we're gonna be watching Goku voice actor drama is embarrassing. It's a video by Big Sto, and let's see what he's talking about, fam.
Hey, it's me, Goku! Is that all you've got,
Oh boy, another day, another Sean Schimmel controversy to talk about. Now, if you guys did not know, right, if you have not been keeping up, right, so there's this video going around and Sean Schimmel going around in a speaking panel, right, and he gets asked this question from a fan, and he gets really personal about it, almost to where the point that I feel like he was about to have like some sort of like breakdown or just some sort of like he was just that, like he was like at the point in which he just did not even want to talk anymore, and all because somebody in the crowd asked him about his opinion about Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
Okay, so here's the thing. Sean Schimmel got asked about Dragon Ball Z Abridged before, bro. So maybe he think this guy was trolling him and that's why he blew up. I can understand that, but like at the same time, you know, as a professional, you gotta keep your cool, bro. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep it cool, bro. But I definitely do get where he's coming from with that. It's a legality situation. He kinda asked to say it, you know what I mean? Anyway, continue, let's find out.
Yes, all because of that.
You serious?
Now look, I have a bit of history with Sean Schimmel myself, and I wasn't gonna say it was like the most, you know, the most amazing experience, but it was one of the weirdest experiences I ever had in my entire life, because it started off a little bit rocky, but you know, we eventually kind of had an understanding, right? I have a video up for it like a long time ago about my experience meeting with him. And a lot of people seem to be on the fence that Sean Schimmel is just not really the greatest guy to just meet up. He can be a really hot-headed individual sometimes and can be really nice at times. But I mean, I feel like that's everybody, all right? I feel like everybody has the right to, you know, act in a certain way.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Everybody has bad days and everybody has good days. So, like, I wouldn't really judge Sean Schimmel's character off a few instances of him losing his cool, bro. Because you know you all been there, bro. I feel like it's only emphasized since he plays such a major role. I mean, Goku's literally like the Mickey Mouse of anime, bro. Even though like I like Naruto a lot more than Goku, Goku is just so iconic that everybody knows him. You know what I mean? And even Naruto himself, my favorite character, was inspired by him. So it's just like he fills a really big role, and that's why people are kind of like really tackling his personality, bro. And they're like really like pointing fingers at him because he plays such an important role. But anyway, I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just my guess, my opinion on it. You know what I mean? Because everybody acts like, you know, everybody messes up, bro. You know what I mean? Everybody messes up. It's just when he messes up, it's caught on camera. Continue.
Especially when you're voicing one of the most popular anime characters of all time. I'm just gonna play the clip and then I'm just gonna give my piece about it, and I'm gonna try my best to not interrupt it as much as I can, because I want you to just get the best picture around here.
Hi, since you guys are referring to what's been going on the internet as far as Dragon Ball Z goes, have you ever heard of Dragon Ball Z Abridged?
I don't. What do you mean talking about what's going on the internet as far as Dragon Ball Z goes?
Well, one of you.
Now, you know I've been asked this question before, so I think you're fucking with me a little bit.
Okay.
Yes, you are. I think you are, because you know, and now you're filming, so this is you're really putting me on the spot. Like, I'm seriously uncomfortable. No, I hate this question. It's seriously uncomfortable. Because you know what you're doing. That's what's going on. You know? So now you want to ask me about a show that is an illegal thing that I didn't work on, and because you know what the deal is, and now you're laughing about it. Like, I'm very uncomfortable right now. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm being real with you, you know?
Okay, so I mean, he said it himself, like he's very uncomfortable with that question. Should he have said this and addressed this fan aggressively as he did? Probably not. But like, you know, he's been asked this question as a troll question probably a lot, so. And he just said, you know, it's illegal. Obviously, the company doesn't want him really praising Dragon Ball Z Abridged, even though I personally think Dragon Ball Z Abridged is phenomenal. I mean, it literally says that it was made by, you know, Funimation, Toei Animation, and Akira Toriyama, and it literally promotes to support the official release.
The following is a fan-based parody. Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT are all owned by Funimation, Toei Animation, Fuji TV, and Akira Toriyama. Please support the official release.
And that's great. That's really great. I don't know about the legality of that, but I feel as though Dragon Ball Z Abridged was phenomenal. And I think it was a really nice boon to Dragon Ball Z in general. And it got a lot of people that wasn't into Dragon Ball Z originally into Dragon Ball Z. There's a reaction channel called Blind Wave, where some of their members didn't even watch the original Dragon Ball Z. They watched the Abridged first, and that got them into the original Dragon Ball Z. And I'm sure there are tons of people that also got into the original Dragon Ball Z and looked at it and was curious about the original work because they watched the abridged version. So if anything, it's a boon to Dragon Ball Z. But as far as like the legality of that, they probably don't want, you know, Goku's voice actor, you know, the Mickey Mouse of anime, the top dog himself, to praise it, because it's probably like a, you know, legality issue with the company. And, you know, Sean Schimmel's in a delicate position here, and he feels uncomfortable because people are putting him in that position where he probably likes Dragon Ball Z Abridged himself. He probably does, but he's not gonna admit that, and he's not gonna want to even entertain questions like that, because now you're putting him in a rough spot. You got to think about what spot he's in, you know? Continue.
Oof, that's a little bit rough, you know, to be getting that answer from one of your idols, man. I'm honestly quite shocked that he reacted in this way. Now, I completely understand why he got so irritated about the question, right? Because Sean Schimmel has, I think it was known that his opinions about Dragon Ball Z Abridged wasn't really positive. He thought it was like disrespectful to Dragon Ball and Akira Toriyama.
Here's the thing, he only said that probably for legal repercussions. In fact, I think I remember, I could be wrong, but I think I remember he said it was funny and that he liked Dragon Ball Z Abridged in a panel before. I can't remember what panel, but I'm pretty sure he did say that. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And just let me know if I'm wrong. But yeah, he can't just say anything he wants. He's in a delicate position.
The Dragon Ball Z Abridged by Team 4-Star? Oh, sorry.
Do you have another question? Let me be really frank. The reason I answer questions like that is because Toei does not support that, and Toei and Funimation doesn't, and it's not really very legal.
Which, I don't know if we can really consider that a valid take, considering that Sean Schimmel had a leaked audio of himself just saying a slur as Goku.
Hey, look at those f***ing ass clothes! Fat!
Okay, here's the thing about that. For one, I think that was old audio, I'm pretty sure. And that was back when the F-bomb wasn't a slur or a derogatory term. It was completely innocuous. It was meant as like a joke, and I don't think he was actually trying to record that. That got leaked, and he was probably just having fun in the studio with other voice actors. So it's completely harmless, and I feel like once again, people are trying to attack his character off, you know, things that don't even matter. That was in the past. He was obviously joking. It's not something to be taken seriously, and for people to think that, oh, he's the epitome of evil, maybe they call him a fascist or whatever these new age terminologies are. It was a different time back then, you know? It was a completely different time. That's the thing that a lot of people don't want to acknowledge. It was a completely different time. So the thing about it is, bro, maybe he overreacted when that fan asked him that question. Yes. But he's still in a delicate position. You know what I mean, bro? Continue.
Now, I just want to make it clear, this is not a video about me trying to cancel Sean Schimmel. There's already been a ton of videos that somehow wanted to do that, but this is just me trying to give my opinion, alright? If Sean Schimmel ever finds this video, I don't want you to think that, oh, I'm trying to like end your career and potentially get myself sued for like defamation, alright? Like, all I'm saying is, it's just like, is this really a valid way to act out of a question that honestly on paper sounds really harmless?
So yeah, and that's fair. That's fair. I like that this isn't a video attacking Sean Schimmel. It's just questioning his response, which so far, yeah, I agree with Big Stow. I don't know if this is the best way to handle it. You don't want to really put that much negativity out there. You don't want to be too confrontational about it. Just say you're uncomfortable with that kind of question and move on. I know he probably gets it a lot and he's probably annoyed by now, but you know, you don't have to like feed into it. The more you feed into something, the more you'll get back, you know? So if you feed negativity into something, if you give them a reaction, they're gonna come at you with the same thing times 10. Like Kaioken times 10, yeah, they're gonna come back at you with the same thing multiplied and amplified to a new level. So, you know, instead of giving it that kind of energy, really blow it off and just be like, I'm sorry, I'm not comfortable answering that kind of question. Does somebody else have another question? Or would you like to ask me a different question? I'm just not comfortable answering that. I'm sorry. You know, and end it there. But let's see the rest of this.
So you want my opinion that Toei sent them a thing and they said F you to it and that they're disrespecting Akira Toriyama because I don't like it, I get a lot of flack. I think they're very funny, very talented, and I grow tired of being put on the spot with this question because you know, bro, you know. So I've been working on the show 26 years and I'm here to promote the real deal, you know. I think those guys are funny, I love parody, I think it's funny, I'm not here to talk about that. And so you're doing this for a reason.
See, he just admitted that he loves parody. He thinks it's funny. He said it. He admitted it. I don't know if that was the right thing to do, but he admitted it, and obviously he's under a lot of pressure. And really, honestly, y'all, when you meet these kind of voice actors and they're in these delicate positions, try not to ask questions like this. I know you're curious about what the original voice actor think of this parody. It's really funny, it's really cool, it's nice, but think about their position, okay?
You know, I don't believe it, you know?
No,
So,
I was just thinking of a random question.
nah, well, I've been trolled a lot, so maybe you're right, it's fine. I'm sorry to make me so serious. But can you understand where I'm coming from?
Right.
Can you understand where I'm coming from? Like, I've been working on this a long time. I put my whole life into it, you know what I'm saying? And so, those guys are funny, but I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to promote Akira Toriyama's work honestly, you know? And so, that's
See, now that was a much better response. So really, I don't see what the whole drama is about, bro. Because like that was a perfect response, almost perfect. He was a little antagonistic in the beginning, but you know, towards the end, he's like, I apologize if this is like offending you. I don't mean to be that antagonistic, but like, do you see where I'm coming from? He's trying to like get across his point of view, and that's the, you know, thing to do. That's just the thing to do. I think this was a fine response. I don't get the whole drama behind this, bro. But yeah, continue.
I don't really think Dragon Ball Z Abridged is even illegal. It has always been made clear that Dragon Ball Z Abridged is a parody, and has always very made it clear that you should just support the official release.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, bro. You don't think it's illegal, but it very well could be. I'm not too sure. I don't know if you're too sure about the legality of Dragon Ball Z Abridged, but we both love it. Just like I said before, he's right. They literally said, please support the official release. They literally have it in their video before the episode starts. They literally say that. So,
Following is a fan-based parody. Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT are all owned by Funimation, Toei Animation, Fuji TV, and Akira Toriyama. Please support the official release.
Honestly, I've never seen a single voice actor like Sean Schimmel be in this sort of position, right, where he needs to constantly put out his frustration towards the fan.
okay, well, that's the thing, right? Because you see, you're not dealing with the average voice actor anymore.
Monkey.
Had to get my Vegeta voice on. Anyway, he's not the average voice actor. Whether you want to believe it or not, he's in a elevated situation where there's a lot more spotlight on him because he's playing the Mickey Mouse of anime, Goku himself. So there's a lot more pressure, a lot more spotlight, and he has a lot more responsibilities than a regular voice actor voicing, you know, any other random character. Say like Welf Crozo from Familiar Myths, or say like Klein from Sword Art Online. You know what I mean? It's a lot different because he's playing a really popular character. So popular that even regular people know of Goku who don't watch anime at all. Those same people constantly confuse Goku's name with people like Luffy and Naruto's name, which is hilarious, by the way. Just saying. It's really hilarious every time someone does that, bro. But yeah, Goku is more popular than all these other characters, and so the voice actor obviously is gonna have a lot of spotlight on him. So that's why he's really defending Toei Animation on this, because they probably don't like Dragon Ball Z Abridged, and you know, he at the end of the day is doing a job. Whether he likes doing a job or not, which obviously clearly he does, he has to focus on his job first. Whether he likes Dragon Ball Z Abridged or not, plain and simple.
So I'm not sure if you guys were ever familiar with the situation, right? So there was like this voice actor, right, that Sean Schimmel did not like pretty much for sounding too much like him, and he thought it was AI. And I remember that when this came out, like people were just absolutely just turning sides.
Oh my. Christopher Sabat, do not try to come after me for sounding like Vegeta. I promise you it's not AI, I just mimic his voice a lot. Please. I don't even know if I sound like Vegeta. Do I sound like Vegeta, bro? Oh wait, let me give my best Galley gun. Galley gun! Was it good?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Don't come after me, bro. I'm sorry, family.
On Sean Schimmel.
Turns out Sean Schimmel, the official American English voice actor of Goku, isn't happy with me.
Is that what you think? Around and find out.
Okay, that kind of sounds like Goku, but wait, he really thought that didn't even sound. It sounded like Goku, but not quite like Goku. You know, Goku's more serious. He has this, "Hey, it's me, Goku." I can't really do his light voice, but I can kind of do more of his serious voice. Is that what you think? Fuck around and find out. You know, he kind of has like a almost like an accent. Is that what you think? Fuck around and find out. Like, I can't explain it. When he's more serious, he sounds a lot deeper. He still has that light tone, but it's a little more deeper. It's a different archetype. But it still sounds like the same voice. And I think Sean Schimmel does an amazing job with that. Just saying. But this doesn't even sound quite like Sean Schimmel. It's close, but not quite. Mine is probably close, but not quite either. But did he think this was AI generated? That's hilarious. And you can't really blame him. I mean, he's probably not on the internet too much, right? I'd imagine so anyway. But yeah, let's continue.
This is AI. I did not record this, and it does not feel good to have someone use my voice to put words into Goku's mouth. Might be fun for you, but it's not for me.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
Now look, I'm gonna defend the guy who was asking the question. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt that maybe he did not look up on YouTube Sean Schimmel's opinion on Dragon Ball Z Abridged from a long time ago.
You know, he probably didn't. He probably didn't didn't even see that clip. Most clips when I see a panel are like an hour or so long. I never see a 2-minute one. And I usually watch those panels. I don't usually watch those panels, but when I do, I usually do it when I'm extremely bored and, you know, in the middle of doing something else, just to see what's going on in these panels. Yeah, that's why I have no recollection if he said that Dragon Ball Z Abridged was funny or not. I think I remember him saying that, but again, I could be wrong, because I don't really watch those panels too often. And when I do, it's always a pretty funny and nice experience. I watch some Naruto panels with the Naruto voice actors and Dragon Ball Z voice actors, but that's about it.
Because, I mean, I feel like everybody at least knew at some point what was, like, the opinions of, like, one of the Dragon Ball's voice actors, right? But, you know, I feel like not everybody has time to look up their favorite, you know, questions and answers for their favorite celebrity, I guess. But at the same time, I feel like Sean Schimmel could have handled this a whole lot better, man. Like, dude, you could have just said, yeah, I'm familiar with it, and I have mixed feelings about it. That's all you could have said about it, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I said it in the beginning. Yeah, he definitely could have just been like, I'm uncomfortable with that type of question. Can we please get another question? Or do you have another question for me? Let's just move on from that topic. You know, he definitely could have said that. I agree. 100%. 100%, Big Sto. I agree, bro.
Like, you didn't have to even clarify that rude to the guy. I mean, dude, if I was the one asking that question, which I would never do because I already know the answer to that, but if I came home that day and I was being humiliated by a crowd and the crowd were cheering on for Sean Schimmel for some reason, dude, I don't even know if I could even keep supporting the Dragon Ball English version, because imagine one day you're watching Dragon Ball and then you see the character that the guy is voicing, right? And then you have to constantly remind yourself that, oh man, this guy publicly humiliated me in front of thousands.
Not the Incredibles. I forgot dude's name, but that's hilarious, Big Sto. That's hilarious, bro. But yeah, he got a point. You shouldn't be that antagonistic to a fan, and that can definitely make someone not a fan. You don't want to do that. Okay. You wanna keep it real, but at the same time, you don't want to be that antagonistic to a fan because it'll create a divide. And unfortunately, I hope he doesn't feel that way. I can understand if he does feel that way though, because yeah, a whole crowd was cheering afterwards. That is kind of like a public humiliation, you know, but at the same time, it's hard to look at multiple perspectives for the average person, and so you gotta look into the perspective of the fan and Sean Schimmel at this point, bro, and both viewpoints are valid. The fan could have genuinely not known about that question and was just wondering it himself, and he just doesn't look at panels, doesn't go to them, doesn't look them up online. He just wondered because maybe that was his first time even at a panel, you know? And Sean Schimmel acted that way, and now he's probably hurt that his favorite voice actor acted that way towards him, and why wouldn't he be? So I definitely get what Big Stow was saying. It definitely could have done real damage to how that fan sees Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super, whatever you want to call it now. And maybe he wants to support the sub now. Which, by the way, I'm not a big fan of sub, but, you know, if you like sub, you like sub, bro. But, you know, if I wanted to read, I'd read a book, bro. You know what I mean? And I do read books sometimes, but like, you know, sometimes I'm not trying to read. I'm just trying to hear, you know, what the dub guy, bro, you know? And there are some amazing dub voice actors, and the sub voice actors are really great too. But I just don't want to read. Maybe I'll learn Japanese. How about that?
Online. And I'm just like, I don't know how I can even live with that, dog. You know, Sean Schimmel, it's no secret that Sean Schimmel really gets frustrated at fans who just kind of like tickle him the wrong way. He has been known to have a history of just being a little bit hot-headed, maybe for the right reasons or for wrong reasons, but I genuinely do think that, like, Sean Schimmel, in my knowledge, is like one of the only voice actors in the industry that constantly acts like this. I've never seen like another voice actor act similar to this or act similar to that of Sean Schimmel, because I feel like Sean Schimmel, I feel like he treats the voice acting gig a little bit too differently. And most voice actors that I met in conventions, you know, they're one of the nicest people I've like ever met, like ever, because they just love what they do. But look, I get it from a business point of view that Goku is one of the most famous anime characters, right? And you don't want to get fired for that. I completely understand. But I feel like there's just a whole lot of ways you can just handle this a lot better, dog. Like, it doesn't have to be like you just constantly insult a fan or just you putting out your frustration towards the most random people on the internet. It doesn't paint a good look for you. I remember people like 10 years ago were saying that, oh, Sean Schimmel was the definitive Goku voice. He will never get replaced. And now, and up to now, people are now quite saying the opposite. People are saying that, oh, Sean Schimmel is not even a good Goku. He doesn't portray Goku in a good, you know, the Japanese voice actor does a whole lot better at representing Goku's character.
Is this nigga serious?
Okay. I'm not laughing at the Japanese voice actor, by the way. I'm laughing at the fact that people really think that about Sean Schimmel. Are you serious? He portrays Goku's voice very well. The sub and the dub voice actor for Goku, I listen to them both. As much as I like the sub, I definitely prefer Sean Schimmel more. One, because it's a man, you know, voice acting a man, just saying. I have the same gripe with Naruto's voice actor for both sub and dub. I do think Naruto's voice is unique, and I do like it, but it's also weird that a woman is voice acting a man. It's just weird, you know? Like, I understand women voice acting boys, you know, like little kids, but after that, you know, you gotta change voice actors, bro. Let them grow up. You know what I mean? I don't think a woman should be trying to sound like a man and play a man voice actor, because it's just a different bass and octaves anyway. But yeah, Sean Schimmel is, in my opinion, much better at playing Goku. For one, he's a man. For two, I like the way he portrays Goku. So anyone that's hating on him just because he's had a few moments of weakness, you know, y'all are really like sad, bro. Like, yeah, they're probably the same people that were like, no one can replace Sean Schimmel as Goku. And now you just hate him because, like, he's had his few moments of weakness on camera, when you know damn well that y'all were probably even nastier than he was at some point in y'all life. You know what I'm saying? And without that much pressure that he has as playing Goku. So, relax, bro. You know? Relax.
Struggles, and Sean Schimmel and the English dub of Dragon Ball sucks. Now, I'm not gonna say I'm those type of people, but I can definitely understand where that argument comes from. It's a
Hell no, to the no, 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 yeah, to the no.
I can't, bro. I can't at all. That's the one thing we can't agree on, Big Stow. I think you're completely wrong on that. But I can agree on some sub being better than dub. But most of the dub, especially for Dragon Ball Z, is phenomenal. And I think they do a phenomenal job.
weird thing, right? To see probably one of your idols, you know, publicly, you know, try to humiliate you in some sort of way. Maybe it wasn't like a humiliation, right? Maybe it was just like, it was more of a pep talk, maybe. Just a little weird that one of the most recognizable English dub voice actors are acting in this sort of manner. It really doesn't paint a good light, I would say, for like the majority of like, you know, English dub.
Pep talk, I don't even know where you got a pep talk from. It definitely wasn't a pep talk. That was more of like, it was an antagonistic way of addressing the issue, and he definitely could have did it better. I agree with you on that, Big Stow. But the thing is, bro, at the end of the day, he was just handling his business, bro, as an employee of the company, bro. You know?
Voice acting. You know, I have my problems with English dub voice acting, but I feel like the people who work there are genuinely respectful people, but this doesn't really paint a good light. But really, I really want to know, what are y'all opinions about Sean Schimmel? Because it certainly seems like the public opinion about Sean Schimmel is quickly turning upside down. And I mean that like literally. It's just, it's not really looking good for the guy. But, you know, all I can say is like, you know, I hope the man, you know, obviously doesn't really get fired for anything like this, all right? I generally do think that, you know, he has his fans. And there's an audience for him.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Yo, go on mute, JP. Go on mute, JP. What the?
But yeah, anyways, you guys have yourselves a damn good one. Be safe out there, and peace out, y'all.
Yep, I'm gonna also peace out. At the end of the day, Sean Schimmel is an amazing voice actor for Goku. And I think people are just hating on, you know, his few moments of weakness and trying to make a nothing burger into a whole premium buffet deluxe. At the end of the day, he's a voice actor and he does an amazing job, and that's all that matters for the voice of Goku. The actual person doesn't have to be this absolute saint and the most genuinely nice person ever, as long as he does the job well. And I feel like a lot of fans are almost on a parasocial level, kind of like what a lot of YouTubers and streamers, a lot of people are really parasocial about like idols and celebrities and all that. And I think that they need to start separating the voice actor from the character. Yes, it sounds like the voice actor brought the character to life, but if you only focus on the character, you won't have any issue. You know, I don't know. That's just my take. I can definitely see how people would blend the character with the person because it's the same voice, but at the same time, they're just a regular person. They're not Goku. The voice actor for Naruto is not Naruto. That's just not their personality. They may have aspects of the character's personality from voice acting said character for a really long time, bro. But at the end of the day, they're not that character. They're just bringing that character to life. And I think they did an amazing job at it. Sean Schimmel did an amazing job at bringing the character Goku to life. But anyway, bro, the original video is going to be in the description below. Go ahead and check out Big Stow. Seems pretty cool, bro. I'm going to go ahead and hit you with a sub. Great first video I saw you in, bro. And go ahead and like that. And yeah, I'm going to see y'all later. Peace out, dog.